Suicidal thinking is not a choice. It's not a bad behavior. It's not a lack of discipline. Suicidal thinking can happen to the best of us.
Suicide is a critical public health issue.
Any one of us from all walks of life can become a person at risk.
Suicide plays no favorites. The problem of suicide affects all cultural groups, socioeconomic classes, and ages. The number of people that consider suicide is astronomical. It is estimated that as many as 80% of the people around you will engage in suicidal ideation one or more times in your lifetime.
Hi, Daddy!
Hey!
It is a great tragedy when someone we know completes suicide. The emotional trauma, the stigma, and the guilt experienced by those left behind is also a great tragedy. With so many people thinking about suicide, it is highly likely that every one of us knows someone in our family, our circle of friends, co-workers, or acquaintances who has attempted or completed suicide.
Suicide lurks in the shadows. It draws its power from our lack of awareness. Then it strikes. You might ask, why would anyone want to do that to themselves? Maybe you should be asking, why is this happening to the people that we love? With all that we do, try to be, and strive for, we seldom slow down to take care of ourselves. As a result, we often feel overwhelmed, many of us on a daily basis. At this pace, 7 out of 10 of us are somewhere on the spectrum for anxiety disorders, depression, and mental illness. Not stopping to smell the flowers results in an ever-increasing number of people at risk for suicide. People need to become aware that self-care is a necessity and not an indulgence. My question is, why don't people talk about suicide? I mean, I get it. Suicide is scary. But if we don't talk, it can be fatal. Talking can literally save our lives. When we don't talk, we can't ask for help. When we don't talk, we can't see those who need our help.
"27 years ago, I was a survivor of suicide. I remember thinking there was no way to stop the pain I was feeling. I felt rejected, isolated, ashamed, unloved. I felt overwhelmed.
I remember hearing from Bill's mom about his attempt to suicide. I felt guilty that I had missed the signals. I think I didn't really want to believe what my gut was telling me. And then it was too late.
Choosing to live was a very difficult decision. I couldn't fathom going on. Choosing to die was also a very difficult decision, but at least it would put a stop to the pain.
After Bill got out of the hospital, I wanted to do something to help. And yet, I felt paralyzed.
Most people considering suicide share their distress and their intent.
What do you say? What if he tries it again? Whose fault was it?
Back then, I wanted to tell someone,
What do you do when someone wants to take their own life?
but because suicide is such a taboo subject, I had no one to tell it to.
I couldn't get any answers to my questions, so I retreated to avoidance, denial, shame, and silence.
People who have suicidal thoughts usually send out invitations for help. Unfortunately, most people dismiss these invitations. It's this type of avoidance and denial that keeps the problem of suicide shrouded in silence.
We are two dads. We are committed, concerned citizens that want to see a terrible problem removed from this world. Here is our idea.
Hi, I'm Dimitri. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. In the next few minutes, you will learn everything you need to know about our mission and evaluate whether or not you wish to support our crowdfunding campaign. Simply put, my co-facilitator, Bill, and I are two dads on a mission. Our heart is to eliminate the problem of suicide from Manitoba schools, workplaces, neighborhoods, and families.
Hi, I'm Bill, and it's important to us that our families and yours are safe. This is why we have decided to take action to advocate strongly for suicide-safe communities. By being a strong voice that raises public awareness and by training others with the knowledge to save lives, we are being proactive.
It's important for communities to establish their own suicide prevention action plans and build suicide-safer communities. Assist training is a fundamental part of such efforts. We all need to work together.
Assist equips caring individuals with suicide first aid. It saves lives.
I love that the Assist Suicide Prevention model recognizes and affirms the value, dignity, and the importance of people. All people.
Well, part of Core Life's mandate is to participate in activities and to facilitate trainings and build relationships with groups that wish to make a difference.
Assist provides a successful meeting place for helpers to voice common concerns and to connect with others, in order to work together to address these concerns.
In order to establish suicide-safe communities, we need to create the awareness and teach people how to intervene.
The Vital Core Life team makes sure to address the issues of people at risk and the people left behind, like me.
Join us in the fight to eliminate suicide in our workplaces, neighborhoods, and families.
All of us working together are greater than any one of us.
Now, this next part is the most important part of our message, so listen very carefully. This is where you learn how to help us with our mission, how to be part of the solution. This is where we tell you how you can participate in the creation of suicide-safe communities. Let's start with some facts. Suicide has been declared a worldwide health crisis by the World Health Authority. Currently, we have 3,000 registered Assist trainers internationally working at training suicide lifeguards. Assist is recognized worldwide as the standard protocol for suicide first aid. To date, 1.2 million people have been assist trained. This is not enough. To eliminate the threat of suicide entirely, we need to have one assist lifeguard for every 16 people. With 6.5 billion people on the planet, we have barely scratched the surface. As daunting as this looks, the solution to eliminating suicide is currently achievable at the community level.
Here are 3 key solution areas that have been identified. We need to change the way people talk about suicide. Suicide needs to be talked about candidly, with empathy, and with the right information. Suicide talk cannot be a taboo subject anymore. We need to train people to recognize those at risk and save lives. Assist training is a crucial part of the overall plan for safety. We need to get people engaged in daily personal self-care practices. This can only happen if we make people aware of how to live more effective and vital lives.
Vital Core Life's vision is to eliminate the threat of suicide from the world, one community at a time. As thought leaders on this subject, we believe strongly that this can be achieved with the following plan of action. Educate 20% of every community to be role models who encourage open and candid talk about suicide in their workplaces, neighborhoods, and families. Train 10% of every community to be lifeguards who can spot people at risk and provide immediate suicide first aid protocols. Equip people to be overcomers with the tools that help them manage life more effectively. Partner with champions in every community who help us advocate for suicide-safe communities. Subsidize the full cost of all of these efforts using social media to raise public awareness and raise funds. Now then, we can't do this alone. We need your support.
You can be part of the solution by choosing to participate in any number of the following efforts. You can choose to attend one of the Suicide Talk seminars. By attending, you will learn the facts and break the silence. At the conclusion of the seminar, you will be able to advocate for safety and healing in your workplace, neighborhood, and family by talking openly about the realities of suicide and suicide ideation. In this way, you become a role model in your community.
Next, you can choose to attend one of our Assist Suicide Intervention workshops. By attending, you will learn how to be a certified suicide first responder and how to save lives. At the conclusion of the workshop, you will be able to spot the people at risk, provide suicide first aid protocols, and support their connections to life, safety, and recovery. In this way, you become a lifeguard in your community.
You may choose to attend a number of our Safe Talk support group sessions. Through regular attendance, you will learn how to use valuable tools and strategies that reduce factors which contribute to stress, burnout, depression, self-harm, and suicide. At the conclusion of each session, you will be better equipped to support healing and recovery efforts for persons at risk and survivors of suicide loss. You will also become progressively more aware of how to live a more effective and vital life. In this way, you become, and help others to become, overcomers in your community.
Finally, you can choose to support our Two Dads for Suicide Safe Communities crowdfunding campaign by donating to the fund that helps us fully subsidize the cost of seminars, workshops, and support groups, by sharing our campaign with your entire social media network to help raise public awareness in dollars, and/or by hosting a seminar, workshop, or support group with us in your facility and by inviting your community. In this way, you become a champion for the cause of eliminating the suicide health crisis in your community.
By working together, we achieve the following outcomes. We improve mental health and wellness of the people in our communities. We prove that the threat of suicide can be eliminated through community effort. We convince decision makers, influencers, and government officials to develop policies and legislation that support the formation and sustainability of suicide-safe communities. Anyone can be trained to be an assist first responder. You can learn how to recognize a person at risk and help them choose to be safer now.